Tonight, and welcome to our Medlink Students February webinar, where each one of you tonight is here to find and discover the options you have to achieve your dream, become a doctor or a dentist, because you're all here so committed and so dedicated towards achieving your dream. And I'm so excited to welcome you with us today and see this huge number of students joining us today at such a busy period of the year. We have with us today our expert advisors who will be telling you more about how applications work in Europe. And I'm sure you're all here to understand more about how it works and how you're going to be applying to make sure that this journey becomes a reality and it's not a dream. It's just with your commitment and dedication together, we will help you achieve this dream. And I'm sure most of you here tonight are looking to start your studies in 2025 October, and you're trying to figure out which university is the best destination. So stay tuned tonight because we will cover everything you need to know about going to Europe to study. And we will also go over some of the most popular universities for international students. So stay tuned. And looking at who will be with us tonight. So we have with us your hosts, which are our expert academic advisor, Edmund, who speaks to hundreds of students and advises them on how they can move forward with this journey, which university would be the best for them. Myself, Dana, and we also have with us Miguel, which is one of the admission specialists that will be working on your file. And I think he does the hardest job here, working on your application to make sure it's done in the right way for you to be admitted into school. But we also have with us our guests. So we have with us tonight from the universities, Professor Ia from TMA University. We also have with us Dr. Tamara. Can we please move to the next slide just to introduce our guests? So we have Professor Ia, and we have Dr. Tamara, and we also have with us Greg, an admission officer at Poznan University. And we have with us some students also that are joining to tell you more about their experience. So we have with us Jasira, which is a medical student. We have with us Tanya, we have Joy, and we have other students that will be joining us tonight to tell you more about their experience and how it was their journey. They were in your position before, so how it was for them to go abroad. Now, for all of you tonight that would like to download the presentation slides in order to write some notes, so when we get on a call together, you can ask all the questions that pop into your mind. Feel free to scan this QR code and you can download the presentation slides. And also stay tuned because we have our Q&A session. So any questions you have, just write them down in the chat box in the Q&A and we will be going over them by the end of the webinar. And moving on from here, I just want to say that today we have prepared a special offer for you, which will be announced later today in the webinar. So wait for it and stay with us for an exclusive offer coming your way at the end. Now, what we're going to cover today in a nutshell, we will be going over who we are as Medlink students, what are the benefits of studying abroad, what are the admission and tuition fees, so what the admission requirements are to get into medicine school and what the tuition fees are that you will be paying per year. We also will go over the most popular universities we have and how we're going to help you as Medlink students, and most importantly, the live Q&A session where you can write all your questions from now, start writing, and we will have our students and our guests and our advisors, of course, telling and answering these questions. Now we'll talk a bit about who we are as Medlink students and what our organization consists of. I would like to bring in my colleague Edmund to tell you more about this. Edmund?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dana. Good evening. It's a real privilege to be here tonight. You know, every great journey begins with a single decision. And at Medlink Students, we know this journey really well. And that's because we've all walked it ourselves. Many of our doctors and dentists once stood where you are tonight, weighing up the options, searching for the right path ahead of them. Now, they had the grades, they had the passion, they had a commitment, but the UK schools, they were too oversubscribed and they couldn't get in. So they did something bold. They looked beyond borders and they found world-class universities abroad. And they never looked back. And that's why Medlink students exist. And that's to guide students just like you. And that's to make sure also that you don't have to navigate this journey alone, from the applications to figuring out the entrance exams or interviews to making sure that what you're actually dreaming of becomes a reality. And the dream, as we know, is becoming a doctor and a dentist. And this is something that a lot of you talk about. This is all I've been dreaming about. So, what makes us different? It's our people. And we're a team of experienced doctors, dedicated advisors, and we just don't know the process. We live it. As you heard Dana talk about the admissions team, people who have spent years refining the best pathways, removing the guesswork, and making sure that when you take that step, you're set up for success. So we don't just help you get in and leave you to yourself. We help you stay, thrive, and then you graduate. And over the years, we've seen something remarkable. Studying medicine or dentistry is no longer the backup plan. It's actually a first choice and the chance to receive world-class training, experience diverse healthcare systems, and return home as a global competent medical professional. So in terms of when you're thinking of who we are, this is exactly what the organization was set up to do. Thank you. Over to you, Dan.
Thank you, Edmund. And moving on from here, we would go over some of the many reasons of why students go and study abroad. I speak to many students and we usually stay in touch with them. We get to hear their experience after they arrive. And they tell me about best things they found in Europe and what was something that they weren't expecting, but they found there, or how much it was much better than expected. So we'll go over some of the advantages or the benefits of going abroad, even though we will be hearing it from many other students later on. So one of the main reasons is the affordable tuition fees. In Europe, we have very flexible and reasonable fees where you can study within a specific budget that you have. And you can get the best quality of education with very reasonable fees and enjoy this education and achieving your dream among an international environment of students from all over the world, meeting people that you've never thought that you will ever meet, from different cultures, different countries. Another advantage is the flexible admission requirements. Many times I speak to students and they tell me, I don't have A's, or I don't have both biology and chemistry in high school. Can I join? The good news is that whatever you have in high school, we will help you find a suitable university because the admissions are flexible and each university has different requirements and each country has different requirements. And the courses are fully taught in English, which is everything or all students usually worry about. They ask me, is it in English? That's the main question they get. So yes, the courses are fully taught in English. And the degree is globally recognized, which is what students love about going abroad, is they can go study and you are able to return home and practice. In addition, of course, to the variety of options, you can apply to more than one university. You don't have to take one application and apply to one university only. So that's a possibility too. And let's not forget, one of the most important benefits of going abroad is that the universities have modern facilities where you can be studying and being in a campus that's advanced and well established, having great laboratories, great simulation rooms. We'll also go over these later in the webinar when we speak about the universities. But yeah, speaking about the benefits, I'm sure we will discover a lot more once we hear back from the students. But moving on from here, I want to bring in Edmund to tell us more about the medical qualification in the UK.
Thank you, Dana. So here's something that's really worth thinking about. Every single year, there are more British students choosing to study medicine or dentistry abroad, especially medicine, because we get a lot of students that do this. And they're not just making it work, they're actually excelling. And in fact, in recent years, more than half of the new doctors registering with the General Medical Council all earned their degrees outside of the UK. So this isn't just a minor trend. This is actually a shift where students are securing their future in medicine. Why? Well, because studying abroad isn't just about getting a degree. It's also about gaining opportunities. And the universities abroad, as Dana was talking about, they offer flexible admissions, lower tuition fees, and an education that is taught in English. Now, most importantly, they provide the same career prospects as UK medical schools. So, what does it mean for you? What this means essentially is studying abroad isn't just an alternative. It's a real trodden success route for becoming a doctor. And thousands of students have done it before you. And you can too. This is a testament to show that it doesn't matter where you go, the opportunities are there as long as you look. And this is why we started Medlink Students and the organization to help thousands and thousands of students pursue this dream. So if you're thinking of perhaps taking that step, then stay tuned. We have students that will be telling you about their journey. Now, how does medical education actually work abroad? I get asked this quite a lot. Now, in many European schools, the medical course, which is called MD, Doctor of Medicine, is structured over 6 years. Now, it's split into 2 phases. You've got the first 3 years, which you'll master the foundations, so anatomy, physiology, which is the science behind medicine. And then you join the final 3 years, which is where you transition into the hospitals and the clinics where you work with real patients under expert supervision. So you'll have a hands-on experience that will prepare you for real-world practice. Now, the courses are taught in English, and these courses are recognized globally, including the General Medical Council in the UK. So you get the same high-quality training, more opportunities. There's a lot of paths that open medicine for you abroad. Now, for those of you who are considering dentistry, the structure is similar. Now, most dental degrees take 5 to 6 years to complete. And here's what it looks like. The first half, which is the preclinical years, you'll get to study dental theory, anatomy, and begin hands-on with dental tools. And then the second half of the years, these are the clinical years. So you get to treat real patients in the state-of-the-art dental clinics, where you get to refine your skills and you build the confidence in practice. Now, just like medicine, these courses are taught in English and they are recognized internationally, including the General Dental Council here in the UK. Now, the dentistry courses abroad gives you access to cutting-edge facilities, smaller class sizes, which the students love, and the ability to specialize early. So it's a brilliant option for future dentists who are looking for quality, strong training, and a career prospect. Now, if you already have a degree in science-related field, then the graduate pathway, which is a fast-track journey, can help you. Now, these are accelerated courses, and it takes just 4 years instead of the traditional 6, and it's designed for those who have backgrounds in biomedical sciences, nursing, physiotherapy. Now, the graduate entry, medicine or dentistry, is perfect for those who really have that foundation in science and you really want to transition into the healthcare quickly and efficiently. So it's a rigorous but rewarding route. And many of our students who have successfully taken these courses have launched their medical degrees and dental careers as well. Now, let's talk about what happens if plans change. Now, sometimes circumstances shift, whether it's financial, personal, academic, and transferring universities becomes the best option. So Dana will walk you guys through how the university transfers work as a service that we do and how we help the students transition seamlessly. Over to you, Dana.
Thank you, Edmund. And yes, guys, as Edmund said, a lot of times we have students that go to the university where it's not the right place. So another service offered by Medlink is transfers. And many times students approach us and tell us that they would like to transfer to a different university to continue their studies. And it could be a reason like the student's not happy at the university they've chosen, or a university that doesn't meet their priorities or their criteria specifically. So majority of students with us today are students looking for first year entry in October 2025. However, we still get students that approach us for a transfer. In case you're one of these students, then I want to reassure you that it is possible to transfer. And bear in mind that transfers are recommended up to year 3. But if you are above year 3, or you've passed year 3 and you still want to transfer, feel free to get in touch with us. And I'm sure our expert academic advisors will look at your transcripts and they will see which university would be the best fit for you, where you can continue your studies without being held back with equivalating or recognizing majority of your subjects from your previous university, so you can continue your studies without any interruptions. And moving on from here, we'll talk about one of the main and most common questions we get. How much is it going to cost to study abroad? What are the requirements? What do I need to budget for that? So that's a very common question we get from students. And the good news is, whatever your budget is, we are able to help you study at one of the top universities with a very reasonable fee where it suits your budget. As you can see in front of you on the screen, you can see that we have universities ranging from starting from 4,000 euros a year, and it can go up to 30,000 euros a year. And on the other side, you can see the living expenses per month in each one of these countries. A common question we get regarding budget, when I speak to students about the budget, a very common question I get is, does it mean if I go to a university with higher fees, I'm going to get better quality of education? The answer here is no, because the tuition fees are not relevant to the quality of education. It's more related to the geographical location of the university, where the university is located in. So basically, the economical situation of the country that the university is located in. Now, whatever your budget is, don't worry. We are able to help you study at one of the top universities, have a worldwide recognized degree, very high standard of education, without having any financial burden on you or your family. And you can achieve your dream, become a doctor or a dentist within a specific period of time, a very reasonable budget, without having to worry about finances, but focus on your studies 100%, so you can get the best degree possible. And next up, we will discuss the admission requirements and how it works when we apply for you in Europe, how we help you. And we have with us today our admission expert senior, Miguel, who will tell us more about how we help you with your application to Europe. Miguel?
Hello, Dana. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's perfect. That's perfect. So hello, everyone. My name is Miguel, and I am part of the admissions team here at Medlink Students. Today marks the beginning of an exciting journey for you, and I'm excited to be here to share what we do and how we help you to achieve your dreams. Now, let's get started on what you need to get started. So the main thing you need is a high school diploma or an equivalent of this from your country's high school system. The European universities are known for their academic excellence, and as such, they require that their candidates have a strong background in the basic sciences such as chemistry, biology, physics, and maths. But if you don't have these, don't worry. There are plenty of universities that will accept you without these. This is because these universities like to give equal opportunities to everyone. If English is not your first language, you may also be required to submit an English language proficiency certificate. Mainly, this is for you to fully engage with your studies, but don't worry, the team will also be here to help you and to find a perfect match for you. Just note that you are not on this journey alone. Our dedicated admissions expert team is here to support you throughout the whole process. We'll provide you with study materials and prepare you for the entrance exam. Now, the entrance exam may vary in format. For example, you will have some entrance exams that will be multiple choice based, some will be open-ended, and the others will be a mixture of both. If interviews are also part of the application process, we will equip you with the confidence that you need in order to shine. We'll be here to help you and guide you with translating, certifying, as well as legalizing your document. so that your application process goes as smooth as possible and that you receive that acceptance letter from the university of your choice. Now, what sets us apart as Medlink students is our continuous communication with the university. This ensures that you are always in the loop of what's happening. And we not only support you before, but also during, as well as after you have gotten accepted. We do understand that this is a significant step for you, and we are committed to helping you achieve your dream. I can't wait to speak with you once you have booked that free consultation call with one of our academic advisors and have chosen your university. Okay, Dana, back to you.
Thank you, Miguel. That was very nice of you explaining and reassuring everyone that they don't have to worry about the application, but we have a team of experts that handles this for them. And now we will get to the exciting part that all of you are waiting for. I'll bring in Edmund to tell us about the top universities for students picks in 2024. Which universities were the most popular? So Edmund?
Thank you, Dana. So, where are the students or our students who chose to study last year go to? Let's take a look at some of the popular universities among our students from last year. You've got the likes of TMA in Georgia. You have University of Novi Sad in Serbia. We have Riga Students in Latvia. You've got, Bulgarian schools, Plovdiv. You've got Hungary, where you've got Semmelweis University. Then, of course, when you fly into the Caribbean, you've got University of Health Sciences, and many, many more. Now, to start off, we'll take a deep dive in one of our popular universities, Tbilisi Medical Academy. Now, Dana's here to introduce TMA and why it's a top choice for students who are looking for a quality medical education abroad. Dana, over to you.
Well, as you said, Edmund, one of our most popular universities, Tbilisi Medical Academy. It's located in the capital of Georgia, Tbilisi. They have a 6 years medicine course. And the best thing is that the university doesn't require an entrance exam. They have a motivational interview where you will be interviewed online with the university, and the tuition fees are one of the attractive things. I don't want to take all the talking here because we do have with us Professor Iya. I'll let her tell you more about it.
Hello. Good evening, dear Medlink team. Good evening, dear students. I'm pleased to present today Petra Shotadze Tbilisi Medical Academy. So we are the first private medical school in Georgia with many benefits for you, our dear future applicants and dear students. So we have genuine student-oriented environment. We are having highly professional academic staff. We have many innovative methods of learning and teaching, like case-based learning, team-based learning, simulated patient, virtual reality, growth-oriented test, objective task examinations, portfolio, etc. So there are many benefits to study in Georgia. Culturally, we are very vibrant. We are in the it's gem in the Eastern Europe. We are having admissions twice per year. So you told that mainly students are now here searching for places in September, though we're offering some places for this spring intakes too. So we are having twice intakes in spring. We'll be starting by the end of March and then in autumn, in October intake. So you are welcome to join us anytime you will decide to join. We are having many international partners. We are accredited everywhere with all main organizations. For the best students, we are offering scholarships. I think it will be very interesting for students. So if you are doing very well, studying very well, having high GPA and social active, you can benefit of the scholarship with like $1,000 per discount per month, per semester. That means you can have even $2,000 per year, this scholarship. We are organizing many international summer clerkships in different Orient, Central Asian, European universities. So the best students are using this possibility and passing very good clerkships in European universities, like for example in Lietuva we have Lithuania, Klaipėda University, Vilnius University. We are working with Masaryk University. We are having many other partners. In Turkey we have 4 or 5 universities who are offering such kind of exchanges. We are doing exchanges on the like semester based or during the summer trainings. So there's many things to share. Georgia is a very beautiful country with very like huge history. We are having like the word medicine, by the way, derives from the word Medea. Medea was our princess who got this knowledge of like medicine and herbal medications in all Europe. So we are very historically very rich in this regard, and I hope you will enjoy studying at TMA. TMA has very modern campus where many hospitals around with whom we are working in partnership. So there will be very nice adventure for you, which will last 6 years. And after this one-step medical education, you'll get the diploma of MD, medical doctor. So good luck in your career and hope to see you in Georgia soon.
Thank you very much, Professor Iya. Professor Iya, quick question we have here from students. They'd like to know more about the practicals at the university.
Okay, I think we have here our student Jazira who will be talking more about education, but I can tell you already, so the clinical rotations and clinical partnerships and clinical visits and working with patients, we start from the very first year. We are not waiting, even though of course in medicine we have mainly the first years are called basic and then clinical, but from the very first year we try to bring some kind of clinical approaches to the students, so they are visiting different outpatient clinics. They are observing, they're having observerships with many big clinics too. So they're studying how to deal with patients, how to communicate. They are having special communication modules with students. We are training them with SP patients, so-called simulated patients. So this is the actors who are playing the doctor, the places of the patients. So students have very good chance to work with them and learn how to speak with patients, how to examine the patients, etc. We have many mannequins, we have anatomic tables. So it's very interesting. So because from the very first year, you can feel this kind of like, we are playing doctors, we are saying to students, and then finally they are becoming, with this gaming, through gaming, they are studying how to become a real good doctor. So this is a very modern approach, what we are using. We have experts from Belgium, from Antwerp University, from Amsterdam, Holland, and other experts who are working on our curriculum to make it more very attractive, very fascinating. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not very easy to study medicine anywhere in the world, but still we are trying to create the ambience. You can see our libraries, you can see our anatomic tables or other labs where students can easily study like with joy and happiness, study this very difficult profession of a doctor. Me, myself, I'm cardiologist. I'm teaching diagnostics and I'm teaching cardiology at my university. We are organizing now, we'll be doing some arrhythmia schools. Students are again financed completely by TMA to participate there and to get deeper knowledges in electrocardiography, etc. So there are all these possibilities for you to develop your skills and really get progression very soon.
Thank you very much for this, Professor Iya.
Thank you, Medlink, for having such a good partner, because we really enjoy working with the Medlink students. They are exceptionally good and well selected. So thank you very much and hope to have like long-term partnership with your organization. Thank you. Have a nice day. Enjoy. If any question, I'll be very happy to answer anytime. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're also happy to be partners with you because we hear a lot from students, how you take care of them. You take care of our students very well, support them in every way possible. They love the experience there. So we're very honored for this partnership. And as you said, we have with us Jasira. It's always nice to hear from a student who's studying on campus, telling you about the experience. So Jasira, are you with us?
Yes. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us today. And I'll let you start by telling us a little bit more about your experience at TMA. And since students are asking in the Q&A about the practicals.
Yes, so again, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here with Medlink. As for the right now, I have already finished my first year, and I'll start the second year in a few days on the 10th of March. When it comes to the practicals that some students are asking about, as Professor Ia mentioned before, we have already had the experience to go to clinics and spend the day with doctors, kind of like shadowing them. We've done that twice. Yes, twice. And then we had something called a portfolio, which is somewhere where we can write our experience and what we can improve in our experience. And yeah, so yeah, from the very first year we do have exposure to hospitals. When it comes to my own experience, I have to say that it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and it was very interesting to see how this system works in another country. So for now, I'm satisfied.
Okay. And Jasira, going abroad is a big step. And I'm sure you've been through this process where you were concerned and worried and scared maybe a bit to go abroad. And we have this from all the students we speak with.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more? What would you tell the students themselves?
Well, it was indeed a scary experience. It was the first time that I had moved to another country without my parents, without anyone really, and start a new chapter of my life alone. But I think it's very important to, once you arrive in the country, obviously, first, before arriving in the country, having a good support system, which thanks to Medlink, I did have. I didn't have to worry about booking a taxi and getting scammed in the airport, or finding accommodation in the country. So that's very important. Medlink will provide this help. And also, once you are already in the country, it's essential for you to find a group of people with whom you're comfortable with, and share this experience together. We are all in the same situation. We are all far away from home. We are all um, living alone without our parents' support, like physical support, like they're not there with us. Um, but you find family within each other. So even though it is a hard experience at first, it is hard to take this because it is a leap of faith at the end of the day. But if you truly want to do medicine, I would 100% recommend you to take it.
Yeah, of course. If you want to achieve great things in life, you need to take big steps, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And we also have students asking to know a little bit more about the city. As a new student there when you arrived, can you tell us more about Tbilisi and the life there?
Life in Tbilisi can be a little bit, depending where you come from, it can be a little bit hectic sometimes. Um, But in general, it is pretty good. It's really well connected, so you won't have a problem with public transport. You can take the bus. There's mini buses. There's the metro, so you can get anywhere really fast. You can also take taxis, which are very, very cheap over there. So getting anywhere won't be a problem. And depending on the district you live in or the districts that you visit, you will find, different kind of vibe. But overall, it's pretty lively. There's always people moving around. There's always something going on, something new to see, something new to try. So it is indeed really interesting.
Yeah, Tbilisi is a big city and there's always these new
Yes.
things to see and discover. All right. Thank you very much, Jasira. And we will have you later today to answer some of the Q&A.
Sure.
You're staying with us?
Yes,
Okay,
of course.
great.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So moving on from here, we'll go to our next popular option, also one of our very popular options, University of Health Sciences School of Medicine in Antigua and Barbuda. One of the most beautiful destinations where students love it there. They get to enjoy the experience, the weather, the culture itself. University of Health Sciences offers a 4-year accelerated MD course. And for those of you that don't have a bachelor's degree and coming out of A-levels or high school, the university has designed a pre-med course where it's 1 year and they don't have an entrance exam. Tuition fees are usually around 14,000 euros a year. However, we have an exclusive price for Medlink students where you get to pay 6,000 euros a year. Now, this is based on our exclusive partnership with the university. And for the medicine course, it's usually around 28,000 euros. And also, sorry, based on our exclusive scholarship with the university, your tuition fees would drop down from 28,500 euros a year, drastically down to 8,000 euros a year. I won't talk much about the facilities or the university. I'll bring in one of our representatives at the university. We have with us Dr. Tamara.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. So my name is Dr. Tammy, and I am the Associate Dean of Pre-Medical Sciences at UHSA. I took over pre-med because I wanted to run that program. I wanted to begin that program for students that were in the situation of wanting to achieve their medical degree, but they hadn't gone to regular university yet. They were fresh out of high school. So, yeah, I'm very well versed in the MD program, but that's not my baby. So, I'm really going to talk a little bit of the differences between the MD that you get from our university compared to the MD or an MBBS that you might get in the United Kingdom or in Europe. So our program follows the US plan for education, and for a medical degree in the United States, you have a 4 years bachelor's degree. You can go to and apply to medical school after 90 credits of science classes, science courses, math, English, but I don't think any school in the United States is accepting anybody with just those 90 credits. So you do need to complete a medical degree to go to the United States for the medical, not the medical degree, sorry, a bachelor's degree. However, our school, like I said, we have a 1-year pre-medical program. It is intense. It is tough. It is 90 credits. And with that 90 credits, you will get your sciences. You'll get chemistry, biology, physics, English, algebra, calculus. But it is intense, but the benefit of that is if you pass that with a 70%, which is a United States 70%, not a UK 70. If you pass it with a 70%, you automatically are enrolled into the medical program in the medical school. The pre-medical program is online, so you get to stay in your home with your families in your respective countries for that 1 year. And then you will go to Antigua for the MD program. The MD program is broken into 2 years of basic sciences, which are done in roughly, it's not quite 2 full years on the island. And then you go to your clinical rotations, and we have them right now. We have them in the UK. We have them in the United States. You can do your rotations. You can remain in Antigua and do your rotations. Which is a huge benefit to those who don't know where it is exactly that they might want to end up if they want to go back to their home country or try for the United States. The campus, it's a 50-acre campus, and it is at the southern end of Antigua. I happen to love it and miss it. We lived there, my family lived there for just over 2 years. We happened to be there during COVID and the pandemic and everything being shut down. And we moved back to the United States 3 years ago. And we consistently say, what did we do? Why did we come back? Because the island is gorgeous. It's more of a desert island in certain areas. The northern area is a little bit more tropical. The southern's a little bit more desert, but you cannot beat the beaches anywhere. The weather is always nice. We actually are happy when we have rain. We would get rain because we didn't have it as much. There is plenty of activity that you can do around the island. Although I am the first to caution that while there is lots to do there, you are there for such a short period of time. 18 to 20 months goes very, very quickly. And your studies are the most important thing for being there. So while the activities on island are there and they're available and they're amazing, and man, I sure wish that we could have our beach days now. I do caution you to focus on your studies. Your goal is medicine. We do have a student government, and they are the in between for the student and the administration, so that those the students can go to them with their problems and their concerns. We have, I know that one student down there got involved with the local community and has started a soccer. I'm not sure if it's a soccer club or a rugby club. I think it's rugby. They started rugby down there so that they could help get involved with the community. We have observerships in the local hospital in St. John's Hospital. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's a really good school. It is the second oldest school, medical school in the Caribbean. It was started in 1984. It is a family-owned business. When they started it, Dr. Akonde's father started it in 1984, and he's since passed, and now Dr. Akonde runs it. We have smaller classes. We're what you would call a boutique medical school, so we don't have 100 students per class. And that actually makes it really nice because we have more of a family type feeling, that it's easier for communication when a student has a need, we're able to handle it a lot easier than you being a nameless, you're 500, one of 500 people. So I would really encourage you. We have entry 3 times a year for the pre-med and for the MD. So we have January, May, and September. So yeah, we would love to see any of you. We don't have an entrance exam. We haven't even been doing entrance interviews because Medlink has been really good at filtering and getting us your transcripts, and we are able to look at the students. So you guys receive a major scholarship discount, and that is a benefit. And we have a lot of our students right now are from the UK. They're coming in from some of the African countries right now. We even have one from Australia. And so I really hope to see you either in my pre-med classes, or I do teach into the MD. So I'd like to see you in my MD classes too. And enjoy. Get going on your education. There's really nothing stopping you from all of the options that are available to you.
Wow, thank you very much, Dr. Tammy. I don't think I can add anything to what you said, but I can confirm and agree with you that it is a beautiful area. Our students always tell me about the beaches, how nice the beaches are. It has so many beaches there.
So it's the island of 365 beaches, one for every day of the year. We did not find them all because some of them are just tiny little strips of land off of somebody's back porch, but they call it a beach because it's available. So yeah, now I'm feeling homesick for it. Hoping to be back there in May for a little while. That would be good.
I think I'd pack my suitcase and go and gather on with our students there on the holidays and days off and go search the missing beaches.
Yep, you would be welcome.
Thank you very much for that. And
thank you.
As Dr. Tammy said, one of the top universities, one of the oldest, most popular and well-recognized universities. And I'm sure you can see how how friendly Dr. Tammy is, and all the university team are like this. They support students in every way possible. Now, there's many reasons of why to study at University of Health Sciences, but we'll go over how experienced the faculty is. They have access to highly qualified professors and healthcare professionals with extensive experience who will be helping you in your classes, in your daily life, to make sure you're getting the highest standard of education possible, to graduate not as a successful doctor, but as a phenomenal doctor. Also, the global recognition of the degree, which is one of the students' main priorities when going abroad. Having 3 intakes a year. So there's many reasons why choose University of Health Sciences, and we do have the option of you booking a call. We'll guide you through this process so we can get on a call and discuss it into further details. Now, let's move to our next option, which is in Serbia. We'll have Edmund tell us more about this.
Thank you, Dana. Wow, what a night. All the questions are flowing, and it's great to see that everyone's joining and tuned in as well. Welcome. Now, let's talk about University of Novi Sad, which is in Serbia. This is one of the most sought-after universities for students looking to study in Europe. So why is it a top pick? And what makes it stand out? Well, it's got affordable tuition fees, which starts from around 7,000 euros a year. The course is taught in English, and it's, of course, designed for international students. Now, Serbia is one of the lowest actually, cost of living in Europe, which makes it quite budget friendly for students that are looking to not overspend. A vibrant campus that has an excellent facility center and a strong international community for the students. But rather than just learning it from me or hearing it all from me, here's one of the students who's actually living it right now. Tanya is one of the students and also our influencers. And she's going to share her journey with us from top to bottom. Tanya?
Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Very well. Lovely to have you join us. Now,
Thank
Tanya,
you. It's
I
great to
know
be here.
just like every student that starts this journey, you get overwhelmed with choice. And, you may have seen our website, you may have gone to other websites and then looked at so many universities. What was it that made you choose Novi Sad as your medical school to go to?
Okay, so just to give you a bit of background, I'm a transfer student from Russia, and obviously the main reason why I chose to transfer from there is because of the ongoing conflict. But another thing is I generally just wasn't happy at the university that I was at. Just to give you an example, I was told I'd be studying English for all 6 years, but then later on it turned out that I'd only be studying in English for 3 years, and then the other 3 years would be in Russian. And yeah, I'm sure that would make anyone feel a bit uncomfortable, even if they're teaching you the language. So from there, after the conflict started, I then made the strong decision to transfer. And from there, I don't know about you guys, but if you had to go on Google, like Edmund said, if you had to go on Google and type in medical universities in Europe or anywhere really, you get 1,000 universities just pop up and like agencies and so forth. And it's literally like an ocean of like all these choices and so forth. So to answer your question, pretty much I did try the whole thing of applying on my own, failed dismally, right? But then a friend of mine then told me about Medlink. And I can safely say that's where my story turned around. And yeah, they pretty much came on and turned these thousands of options into just 3. Yeah, I just gave them a list of like what I wanted in a university, and they narrowed it down to 3. And this is how I ended up here. This is how I picked Novi Sad. And yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with us. I know whenever I talk to some students, they get very inspired and they get confident, and then they say, "Oh, I can do all of this myself." And then the cost of all the time spent and the money and the stress comes in,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
then the reality kicks in. So I'm glad you shared this with us. How was your process with the whole entire application? So from speaking with us to choosing Novi Sad, and then of course through getting to Novi Sad, how was that process with us?
Okay, so to be honest with you, the actual application process was very simple and straightforward. And this is coming from someone who went through that process of trying to apply on my own. When I tell you guys, there's like documents that need to be notarized, legalized, there's needs of like sworn translators, and this is all money. This is not free, right? So not only do you wait, I wasted a lot of time and money, so to say, until I then made this decision to let Medlink do what they do best. So yeah, the application process, yeah, I just told them what I wanted in a university, just personal preferences. And then they sent me a list of requirements, the documents that I needed. And from there, I just sit back and relax. They did all the heavy lifting. And yeah, and they pretty much like give you all of like to the point where you get documents of like pre and post arrival, where they even go into detail of like the climate to expect when you get there. Just fine detail of literally like a blueprint of how to move abroad. And once you get here, there is someone that picks you up from the airport, and that person is with you throughout the entire sort of like move. So if you need like to figure out where do people buy groceries, if you need to register at the police station, uh, and literally like anything, they're just pretty much there for you and help you settle in, and eventually also learn how to like, yeah, the using the bus systems and so forth. Like there's really someone who's just there to like be there for you and help you like make the transition very smooth. So yeah, I can safely say with Medlink, it was very made it 10,000 times easier. Most definitely. And yeah, it was very simple and straightforward.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing that as well. Now that you're here to be you're at school, what is a typical day for you as a student? What does that look like?
Okay, a typical day usually starts from either 8 or 9 a.m. Depending on the day, I guess, and ends around anywhere from 3 to 5, I guess. But typically, you have three, I guess, classes, either a lecture or a practical. Um, and yeah, and just to add on to that, in my entire year group, there's about 30 to 35 of us. For lectures and so forth. And then for practical classes, we're divided into smaller groups of 10 to 12. So this does help a lot in the sense that your practical classes are very much like there's a lot of personal attention from the professors, coming from a university where in our year group, there were about 150 of us, and you couldn't like just contact the professor whenever you want. But at this university, they do sort of like they encourage you to contact them and so forth. But okay, just to go back into my typical day, at this university, we don't really get homework and assignments. So that does give you time to have a social life and do other things even after classes. But that doesn't mean don't study. Obviously, you get home, you still do your studying and so forth. But because there are no deadlines and whatnot, it's really just tests and classes and practicals. Yeah, you do have time to like also now explore the city, hang out with friends, and yeah, just engage in other hobbies and so forth. And yeah, and if you guys are interested in like getting better visuals of this, I do have a YouTube channel. Like Edmund mentioned at the start, I am their influencer. So I do like sort of like I do make content of like what it actually feels like being in the city, this just a look around the school, around the city, and so forth. So if you guys are interested, someone will post a link in the chat of the YouTube channel. But yeah, that's what my typical day usually looks like.
It's quite good to get a good insight on how life is for her and what a typical day is for Tanya as well. Welcome back.
Did my internet glitch?
Yes. Welcome back.
Okay.
All right. So a question that some of the students ask, and it's actually a big thing, also parents do ask, and of course this is very important for us, and it's safety. Now, of course, this is a very important thing that everyone talks about. How safe are you as a student in Serbia?
I'd like to say Serbia is probably one of the safest countries I've ever visited. Yeah, like it's extremely safe. I can't say anything out of the odds has ever happened to me. I have friends that, okay, I personally like to be home early, but I have friends that take walks at 2 a.m. in the morning, females with headphones on, and nothing happens to them. Like people just really mind their own business here. Plus, also there's cameras everywhere, even on the buses. Like, so I guess that does make it more safe. But yeah, in general, it's extremely safe out here. Also, you have a bunch of friends. You can have a roommate as well. So yeah, in general, it's very safe.
That's great. And we're hearing all great things. What's been one challenge that you've had since being there, and how you did, or what you did to overcome this type of challenge?
Can't, to be honest with you, I feel like I can't say I've had any major challenge so far. To be honest with you, I feel like uh, if I hadn't used Medlink, I would have probably faced a lot. But I feel like literally like anything that's even just the littlest of things, I just text the Medlink representative. So far I can't think of anything that has been a challenge for me, unfortunately or unfortunately. But yeah, so
That's
far no,
always
I
good.
haven't run
That's
into
always
any
good.
challenge.
It sounds like you've really immersed yourself in the city well, and
Mhm.
you've really adapted to your environment and the change, because of course you studied from one place and then moved to another, which of course we talked about as a service. Now, for everybody watching tonight, there'll be some students that are nervous about just going abroad in general, or even thinking to like go to Novi Sad. What advice do you have for those students who are watching today, or considering even going abroad or going to Novi Sad?
Honest, the advice I have for them is that it is scary. Like, let's not act like it's not. It is scary, but once you actually arrive and you're actually on ground and you're here, you will realize that there's really nothing to be afraid of, because everything kind of just flows. You just settle in. You start to make friends and so forth. It's just one of those things where you just have to take a leap of faith. It's scary during the process of getting here, but once you actually get here, like, remember, you're coming to learn. It's not like you're gonna get here and the professor's gonna give you a hard test. They are here to teach you. It's not like yeah, it is scary. You can't deny that. But once you actually arrive, you will look back and you'll be like, okay, this is probably the best decision I ever made. Because once you get here, you'll be really happy, and yeah, everything pretty much just flows once you arrive. I promise you. There's really nothing to be afraid of, but also it's okay to be afraid. But also take that leap of faith. Just do it. Type thing. That's my advice. Just do it.
Fantastic. The fear, once you get past that fear of the
Yeah.
unknown, everything else works out. But yes, thank you. Very inspiring. Thank you so much, Tanya. I know you probably stick out for the Q&A. Your insights are always valuable, and for the students who are considering making this journey themselves. So thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Alrighty. So now let's turn our attention to Poland, specifically Poznan University of Medical Sciences. Another excellent choice and a partner of us for the universities that we have in Poland. And for those of you who are considering medicine or dentistry in Poland, this is an opportunity for you. The university offers medicine and dentistry. For dentistry, you're looking at 5 years. For medicine, you're looking at 6 years. The courses are taught in English, and then you graduate in medicine as an MD, Doctor of Medicine, and Doctor of Medicine in Dentistry for dentistry. Medicine starts from around just under 16,000 euros a year. And for dentistry, you're looking at anything up to 17,000 per year. Now, there is an entrance test and an interview that we, of course, prepare you for. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the degrees are recognized in many countries in Europe, the US, Australia, and Canada. Now, we're lucky to have two fantastic guests here, one of the representatives of the university and a student to tell about their experience there. So Greg, who's the university's admissions officer, will share more about what makes Poznan a great choice for international students. And then Joy, who's the president of the Irish and British student group, will join us and give us first-hand look at what student life is like in Poznan. So let's start with you, Greg. Greg, could you tell us what sets us Poznan apart from the other universities?
Hello, good evening, everyone, and thanks for sticking around this long. Addressing the question directly, I would say we have a strong focus on the US and Canadian job markets and healthcare markets. And so this comes directly from our history of teaching primarily American students at the beginning. That was more than 30 years ago when we started the English language programs as the first university in Poland. And so the large focus is on providing highly qualified graduates who could do well in very competitive environment, and that's above all the American Canadian market, but also UK and Ireland as well. We do also have graduates in many Asian countries. The student base comes from all sorts of directions in the world. But there are some tools that we offer to students as additional help to really excel in those licensing examinations that are more and more competitive and difficult around the world. So first of all, we do have a partnership with the Kaplan company that focuses on preparation for the American licensing exam. And that's actually without any extra fees from tuition. We do offer a 2-month comprehensive basic science review course offered by visiting professors from Kaplan. And that comes along with all the resources that you would get when signing up for a Kaplan course. So online videos, online Q banks, as well as books, mock examinations, and other tools. So that's a strong preparation for your basic science licensing exams, be it in Thailand, be it in the US or Canada. Also, most of our end of course examination in the medical program are provided by the National Board of Medical Examiners. That's an US institution that provides objective and standardized medical examinations for many years now. So those are a great measure, objective measure of how well you are doing with your education and preparation in each separate course, be it anatomy, biochemistry, or clinical courses like neurology, pediatrics, and so on. As a result of that, we've also seen great results in the employability and performance of our graduates. So, for example, we're very proud to last year have had a 100% match rate among current students who applied for US residency position. So that was a huge success for us. But also each year, around 15 to 35 students graduate and go on to take up doctor and dental positions in the UK and Ireland. So it's a very high quality education that would allow you to take up a medical position in health science sector, pretty much in any country in the world. So you have the option of going for the US, Canada, UK, Ireland, any country in Europe as well. You are free to stay in Poland and then go through the Polish licensing process, but also in other countries all around the world. And we have examples of successful students that every year reach these goals. We'd also have offer benefits, free of charge benefits that supports our international students understanding how difficult the transition is and the pathways for someone coming from abroad. And that's, for example, free psychological assistance and English language medical care, also student advisor assistance throughout the duration of the studies. We do offer individual tutoring if students have problems in the initial years of the program. And there's also the student awards for exceptionally performing students. So if they, for example, excel in sports, research, or their academic achievements, then we do have a yearly award galas that award the best of them. So that's just to highlight all of the tools that would set us apart from most other university. The strong support and focus on performance in getting licensed after completing your medical or dental studies, and then obtaining a good job and good employment.
Oh, thank you so much, Greg. That was very valuable insights. Thank you. There's so many reasons to join Poznan. We'll now speak with Joy, who's studying at Poznan, to give us her experience and what life is like as an international student.
Hello,
Joy, are you with us?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. So, my name is Joy. I am originally from Dublin, Ireland, and I'm studying in Poznan Medical University, Poznan University of Medical Sciences, which we call PUMS. I'm a fifth-year medical student, and as Edmund said previously, I lead the Irish-British Students Group, which is a student-led organization. Within the university, I can say that, like Greg already mentioned, we have a lot of high-quality facilities, high-quality teaching. We have a very established student union, which we call EPSU, which is this English Programs Students Union. And under this EPSU umbrella, we have a division between organizations and clubs. So with the clubs, we have the American Canadian group. We have, of course, the Irish British Student Group. We have the Norwegian Association, the Dental School Association, Taiwanese Group, International Federation of Medical Sciences, Harassment and Assault Student Advisory, and also residential advisors for students that are living in dormitory on campus. I think this is really good, like, organization because it encompasses of all the major ethnic groups that are within the university. And then to add to that, we have our clubs, which are all also student-led. We have more ethnic groups, so more of the newer countries where students are coming in all over the world. We have the African Student Club, we have the Burmese Student Club, we have the Pakistani Student Club, we have the, amongst many others. We also have sports clubs. So if you're a student who is also interested in extracurricular activities such as basketball, football, netball, cricket, esports, we have it all. We also have medical specialty clubs. So if you already know what kind of specialty you would like to go into afterwards, we have clubs like pediatric club, obs and gynae club, psychiatry club, orthopedics, family medicine, and many more. So if you want, throughout your medical journey here at PUMS, want to know more about what specialty, we have these clubs that run events and webinars, and that will help. We have speakers, which are doctors in our universities, and also many doctors from abroad who come to speak to our students, who teach them, who have workshops, and to help them know and navigate a bit more about the different specialties within medicine. And of course, we need to have hobbies, you know. So we have a musicians club, we have creative writing, we also have nutrition club. So basically, we have everything in a way that's, you know, you're not left without wanting. And of course, if you feel like there's a club or an interest that you have that is not already met, you're more than welcome to set up a club itself. Like I said, these are student-run clubs. Many of them are been running for many years, and then also we are adding new clubs every year. Yeah, that's in regards to the student organization. And then if I was to talk about the process of returning to, I know that many of you watching this evening are from the UK or from Ireland or from different parts of the world. What I really like about the university and what I like about what helped me is that there's a very easy process from Poland to the UK and to Ireland. Especially the UK, I would definitely recommend for international medical graduates. The process is very easy in comparison to the US or Canada or to many other countries. For example, for the UK, there's no grade percentile required. There's no entrance exam required. As IMGs, you just apply with your IELTS or OET exam. You, of course, have to go through standard vaccination processes and health requirements, and then ensure that you have a work visa or a right to work in the UK, which I'm sure Medlink will help and advise students with. So you're not left alone to do that. And then also your medical degree, of course. So the process is very seamless. And in regards to what I do and my organization to help students in IBSG, we ensure that students coming from POMS have a seamless transition from Poland to the UK and to Ireland, so that any exams, language exams, OET or IELTS that you need to do are done at the right time. Any other advice about visas and just understanding how life in Ireland and the UK is, because it is quite different compared to Poland. And if you're coming from another country, but like Greg said, we do have an increasing amount of graduates and students that are going over to the UK and Ireland to work as intern doctors and also as dentists. Yeah, Edmund, do you have anything to ask me?
Wow, thank you so much. You've summed up everything that I wanted to ask. But I think as you are a student in your clinical years, you're nearly done. How's it feel?
Honestly, it feels surreal because I still feel like I just joined some I just joined the university, but then you look at it and you're like, oh gosh, COVID wasn't 2 years ago, it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I came during 2020, so it's definitely been a journey, but it's exciting. And like you said, I am in my clinical years, so most of my classes now encapsulate just hospital rotations. So I have classes with my clinical group, which is about six of us, and we are shadowing different doctors under different specialties for a couple of weeks. We cover almost every specialty in medicine, and every course lasts a different amount of weeks to months. But it's fun, it's interesting. The university is great. I live probably 5-minute walk from the medical university in Poznan. So everything is local. It's good to have a hands-on experience as well, which I think we get from POMS. And now it's just to, like I said earlier, to start planning my journey ahead from next year.
Wow, I'm sure you can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait, but then also I'm like, it's a bit daunting, but of course, with every new experience, there's going to be a challenge, but it has to come. You can't be a student forever. There is sometimes I forget, oh wow, I am going to be the one being doctor and having my own patients, but I'm excited for it for sure.
Yeah. And as you say, it's daunting, and you took that step, which was a bold step, just like all the other students. What advice do you have for anyone watching tonight that's thinking or on the fence of going abroad but not sure? I'm sure you know things like the dreaded HPAT or trying to get into Ireland and trying to get in the UK. All of these things can be quite demoralizing. But then some students are still on the fence. What advice do you have for those students?
I would say, just coming back to my own experience, like I said, I was very young. I was just finishing secondary school, which I was, so I just finished my leaving cert, and which is the equivalent to the A levels in the UK. So during this period, I had very late in time made a decision to go ahead to do medicine. And I wasn't sure where I would go because in Ireland, as you know, it's a very small country and there's only 5 universities that where you can have the opportunity to study medicine or dentistry. So I knew that there was a lot of demand and there's a lot of competition, the same like in the UK. And with all that happened with COVID, I just made the bold decision to look further. I was like, no, if I've got taken this long to decide, I'm not going to let, certain things stop me. So that's how I started to look into Europe. And I would say the 3 main factors that helped me to decide to come to Poznan specifically was that I was looking for a high standard of teaching in English that was comparable to Ireland, UK, the US, and Canada. As you know, in Ireland and UK, the standard of teaching and the standard of expertise is at a very high international level. So I was looking for something that was very comparable, that I wouldn't feel like I was falling behind my colleagues that studied in Ireland or in the UK or in the US, because at that time I didn't really know where I wanted to go. So I was looking for a high standard of teaching and of course in English, because I just out of comfort. I didn't want to not only learn a new language, but then also study medicine in that language. And then I was looking, it was very important for me that, again, that my degree was recognizable in Ireland, UK, and US and Canada, so that I can seamlessly, after medical school, go into internship and training. And then lastly, cost of living. So again, coming from Dublin, similar to London, as people know, the cost of living is very high. So as a student, I was just looking for something that's affordable, that can relieve the pressure for the few years. So Poznan in particularly tick all those points, and that really was what made me set my mind on coming to Poznan. But my advice as well to students: don't let one closed door stop you. Like, there's many opportunities to study medicine. Don't just close your mind to maybe the country where you live in. I understand that hearing no from a few places can be very demising and very underwhelming sort of feeling. But I decided to go for it from I was 17 when I moved to Poland, so which is very, very young. And I didn't have any family. There was COVID. I moved to a country that I didn't speak the language, and now I speak quite a bit of Polish as well. So I think, and I would definitely advise, you do adjust. It is a learning curve, but so is medicine. There's a lot of learning curves within medicine, within dentistry. And there's so much opportunity with studying abroad, studying into an international school. Like I mentioned with the organizations and clubs, you have students from everywhere. So, and when you go to work, your cohort of colleagues are going to be doctors who've studied everywhere. So having that already, learned and, adjusted to is also a plus in my opinion. So yeah, go for it. Like the other girls said, go for it, bite the bullet, and, there's no regrets, because I feel like if I hadn't had one closed door, I wouldn't have had all the 5 open doors that I have right now, and the different opportunities, and being able to lead a student organization. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Joy. We can't wait to see your journey unfold. And I'm sure you'll stick around for the Q&A. There's so many questions coming in for you, but I'm sure you are here for the Q&A. You'll be able to answer them. But yeah, thank you so much. All right. So many great reasons to join PUMS, Poznan University of Medical Sciences. So just to recap, why would you study at PUMS? Well, for the students who are from the UK and also for the Irish students, as Joy was talking about, the process of registration is very straightforward. With up to around 35 graduates who come back from working in Ireland and the UK every single year. And as Greg was talking about, which has actually changed from the stats that you guys have, they now have an impressive 100% match rate from the year before, which is amazing for international students going to the US. Now, they also provide extensive resources for students and the support for, mental health resources, access to USMLE preparations, and give you access to a network of international students. So there are so many reasons of joining PUMS. Now, speaking of extra support, something we do here at Medlink Students is our doctors actually provide supplementary virtual clinical classes for all our UK doctors. And this is just to help the graduates improve their clinical skills and do best and test them for things like the PLAB exams that we have or the UKMLA. And this is just a testament of how we go above and beyond for your success, because when you succeed, we also succeed. Now, I want to turn to introduce you guys to something else. If we move on from the next slide, I want to bring it back to Dana to talk about how we can help you as an organization from start to end. Over to you, Dana.
Thank you, Edmund. Wow, that was great speaking to all these students. And after hearing from some students about their experience and how we help them as Medlink students, we will briefly tell you about how we help you in every step of the process. So we start by having a free one-to-one call to understand more about your qualifications, what you have, whether it's a bachelor's or high school, and what you're looking for to help you choose the most perfect university for you, the perfect fit, based on the criteria you're looking for, your priorities. Sometimes, for example, we have students that say, I want to be in a busy place, a big city, a capital. Sometimes students want to be in a quiet city. So we look at everything, your qualifications, what your priorities are to help you choose the most suitable university. And of course, applying abroad is a long process and a complicated one, which is why we have put together a full team of experts to make sure that this is a smooth process for you. And this team is so dedicated, working round the clock to make sure they help you in every step of this journey. We also, of course, have our expert admission department. I think they are the people that work around the clock on files. They work directly with the university. They've been doing this for years, and they know what it takes to make your file competitive enough to secure your admission or to guarantee your admission. So they work hand in hand with the university to make sure that everything is completed in the required and necessary way with your documents and with the preparation for the exam, of course. And of course, they will be working hand in hand with you to prepare these documents. You might have a question about how do I get this document? Where do I get it from? So they work with you to guide you with every document and how the process is. So there's no part of it that feels overwhelming or stressful or new or something you don't know. So they help you in every way. They work hand in hand with you and with the university to make sure they create a strong file. And they do also provide materials. Some universities, as Edmund was saying, and the guests we've had, the professors, some universities have interviews, some universities have exams. So if there's an interview or an entrance exam, through our years of experience, we know what you need to cover to ace this exam. So we will share material with you. We will help you prepare for it. And it doesn't end here. We are not just an agency to get you accepted into a medical school. We are much more than that. We're a community or a family. They call us Medlink's family usually on campus because we're just like you. Doctors are the ones who work with the universities, and they are the ones who choose these universities for you. And our students who were in your position one day, they will be supporting you on ground. So we want to make sure that you don't feel lonely in a new country. So we have a team of students, just like yourself, waiting for you to welcome you at the airport, to show you around the place. They will take you for a tour around the city, buy a SIM card, they show you where the supermarkets are or the best restaurants. So basically, we stay with you for the next 6 years to make sure that it's a very smooth transition, and you don't feel like it's a hard step going abroad. As we heard from the students before, while Jasira was talking, I'm sorry, and Joy and Tanya, that they thought it's a big process, but with Medlink, they didn't face much challenges because we try to help you in every step. And the students that are supporting you have been in your position, so they can share their stories with you, what challenges they faced, so you don't face them. So we stay with you for the next 6 years. Now, moving on from here, we will discuss, or we will talk a bit. I'll call back Edmund to tell us more about the student success program that we've put together to make sure that the organization is helping you in the best way possible with every service we offer. Edmund?
Thank you, Dana. So I want to introduce you guys to something that really truly sets us apart. And for us as an organization, we look for ways to do better for you. And that is the Student Success Program, or SSP. Now, SSP isn't just about getting into medical school. It's about making sure that you thrive every step of the way. So here's how we do it. We give you personalized guidance. So that means we help you choose the right university based on your goals and what you're looking to achieve from start to finish. And we give you admission support, which means we handle the documents, the entrance exam, the interview preparation. We take care of all the hard work. And then when you're accepted, we have on-ground assistance, which means we help you settle in from housing to bank account setting to student life to introducing you. And we have ongoing support. Now, whilst other organizations stop once the application is done, we go a step further. You have on-ground support and continues, whether it's academic challenges or whether you need some career guidance. We are here with you for 6 years or even more. And once you graduate, we can even help you register with the medical council and register and think of what you want to do when you're done. So if you're ready to take the first step, all it takes is booking a call with one of us today, myself, Dana, and the rest of the team here. And let's start building your future together. Now, I'll hand off to Dana to, of course, give you guys the chance to ask us anything. This is your chance about admissions, universities, life choices, anything in terms of the admission and the process. Dana, I'll let you take the lead of the Q&A session.
All right, well, I'm confused what to choose from these questions. So many questions coming in. Okay, I have a common question here. Students are asking about the safety. We did go over it, but we'll go over it again because I know it's a main thing. It's not just for the students, but for the parents. Usually they care about the safety. And what activities can students do for fun? I think I'll bring in Joy for that. Joy, are you still with us?
Yeah, I am.
Can you hear me? Okay. Joy, students are asking to know more about safety and what activities they can do for fun outside of university. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, so I would say Poznan is a very safe city. To put into perspective, it's the 4th or 5th largest city in Poland. And in comparison to what I know back home, I think there's roughly now, I might be wrong, there's about 650,000 citizens or people living in Poznan, and that increases a little bit during the academic season because Poznan in itself is one of the most well-known university cities in the whole country. So we don't not only have the medical university and dental faculty, but we also have economic university and technology university, music university. So students are coming from all over Poland and all over the globe to study within Poznan. In that essence, it makes the city itself has been formed and established to accommodate for these students. There's a lot of activities that you can do. There's a lot of depending if you're more interested in sports or hobbies, there's a lot of things you can do in the day, a lot of eating places, restaurants, cafes. There's also a lot of nightlife that happens for students. Again, the cost of living is very cheap. So this enables students to take the opportunity to try out different things and really immerse the Polish culture. In regards to safety, I would definitely emphasize that Poznan is a big city, but not as big as Warsaw, where you have a lot of busy establishments and a lot of busy time. I would say it's safe. I don't think I've ever witnessed any bad thing happening, not even like a robbery or anything. I to the point, like I said, I live in an apartment, but decently close to the university campus, and I feel safe enough to walk home from the library at 11 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. at night and feel safe. And there's still transport, or buses or trams to get me home. In comparison to Dublin, I wouldn't do that. It's not that safe. But yeah, for me, I would say there's a lot of safeguard measures that are made. Again, it's a university, it's a student city, so yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, moving on to the next question. Is the interview at TMA hard? I think we'll bring in Jasira here from TMA.
Yes.
Jasira, are you with us?
Yes, I am here.
So if that is hard.
Yeah, the interview is very easy. They just ask you a few questions about yourself and about your ambitions, why you want to do medicine, etc. And also Medlink provides some guidance. So they give you questions that are mostly more frequently asked, and you won't have any issue. Don't stress about that. It will be fine.
And since we have you here, Jasira, we have another question. Did you face any language barriers in Georgia?
Well, definitely, yes. They speak Georgian, and it's a fairly complicated language, but in TMA they do teach Georgian as well. You will encounter some language barrier, but especially with the younger population in Georgia, they speak English. So if you want to ask for directions in the street or something like that, you won't have major issues. And also Google Translate or whatever translation app that you prefer to use will come in very handy. So yeah, it's very important to have data outside.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, wherever it is, Georgia or Poland or Serbia, wherever you go, they have their local language. But with Google Translate, of course, you manage to go around the shops and stuff, and they understand. Even I hear from students that the shop owners, they're used to students coming in with a phone and translating. So they kind of understand. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Jasira.
Thank you.
We also have with us, I think this question is best to go for Greg. Greg, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me well?
Right, lovely. Yes, we do have a question for you actually. So, student is asking, what clinical practice opportunities do you offer students at Poznan?
Sure. So as a public school, the university owns 5 hospitals within the city. So those are openly available public institution hospitals that see thousands of patients on an everyday basis, working together with the National Health Fund. So that is where the students do their practical training on the upper years of the program. And that is where they rotate through all the specialties as well. University also owns a public dental clinic, and that's where all the practical part from the dental studies comes in. So starting from years 2, maybe 3 of the programs, the curriculum starts to introduce the practical component, and then slowly go into hospital. First through all the simulation courses at the university, then through the observership, and then more and more hands-on experience with patients. So that's all done in hospitals owned by the university that function regularly in the city. We do also have in the medical and dental curricula summer practical training components. Those are those are courses taking a couple of weeks to complete during the summer between years of these programs. And those can either be done in Poznan in the city hospitals, or abroad, which is what we actually encourage students to do, to complete these elective trainings, summer practical trainings at clinical hospitals in the country where they are aiming to practice after graduating. So that's a possibility. That's also a possibility. Complete these small practical components abroad and have them accredited towards the medical or dental curriculum here in Poland. We have some partnerships with institutions in different countries that enable these mobility exchanges for our students. We work together with our alumni to offer positions for the summer practical training as well. And we're also part of the AAMC's VHLO network. That's the Visiting Student Learning Opportunities platform that connects hospitals and universities from all over the globe to exchange for this type of clinical mobility as well. So that makes it a bit more streamlined and easy to apply for these short clinical modules in other countries.
Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you.
All right. Next question. Are there other African students at Novi Sad? Tanya, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm still here.
Hey, Tanya. So we have a question from a student asking if there are other African students at Novi Sad, and I think it would be a great opportunity to answer this and also tell us a little bit more about the diversity in the city itself.
Yeah, there are definitely other Africans. To be honest, I was actually surprised when I first got here and I realized there's so many Africans, especially from Nigeria, Ghana, Tanzania, South Africa. I'm from Zimbabwe, and there are like 5, 6 other Zimbabweans there. So yeah, there are definitely many other Africans. And in general, the diversity is quite broad, I would say. At our faculty, we do have people from all over the world, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's just people from from any corner of the world. Like we've got people from Canada, the States, even from Europe, like within Europe. So we've got people from Slovenia, Hungary, Germany. Yeah, I've got classmates from Germany. Yeah, there's just people from every corner of the world. So yeah, the diversity at the University of Novi Sad is it's quite broad.
That's interesting to know. So you're enjoying your experience with a diverse environment in class?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay. And since we're speaking about diversity and you coming to Novi Sad we'll go over the same question because I see it's repeated by many students about the language barrier. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you're facing any challenges with language barriers?
Okay, so at the university, everyone's okay except for the students studying in Serbian. All the professors that teach us in the English department of the faculty, they all speak very fluent English. Honestly, they're very understandable. There's no issues there. And then within the city in general, Serbians do speak English, or at least here in Novi Sad, they do speak English. So far, like in most situations, when I do try to like speak a little bit of Serbian, they end up just saying, "Oh, I speak English. It's okay." So yeah, in general, there is a little bit of like the language barrier with like I guess like older people don't really speak English, but they understand a little bit, and then everyone else in general, I'll say from like 40 and below, they all speak English. So yeah, the language barrier here in Novi Sad is not a really big challenge as of now.
Okay, fantastic. Great to hear that. Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome.
All right. Moving on from here. Students are asking about the deadline. I think I'd bring in Edmund, my colleague. Edmund, are you still with us?
Of course, I'm having an amazing evening. Glad everyone joined
Great
us.
question for you.
I keep thinking I want to go to the Caribbean. I want to now go to Poland. All these schools, and then now I want to go to Georgia. It's all great. But yeah, great experience tonight.
Before you go pack your suitcases, answer this question first.
Of course. Okay.
I think
so
you and I speak to so many students, and they always ask us about when they should apply and when is the deadline.
it's the question. It's a great question to ask, and everyone wants to know, when do I need to actually make the move? Now we're seeing a big change, and as an organization, we've been doing this for many years. One of the biggest changes is the university's deadlines. Most of the deadlines, as we know, they're in August time, July, August. So it makes you always think, I have plenty of time. But one thing we've noticed about the schools is that they're getting a lot more applications, which means that they're getting more students applying to the schools. So they stop taking applicants from any point. We've had some schools that have already stopped taking applications for this year alone and have started taking applications for 2026. And we're seeing a big trend of this. And the reason is because they have too many applications to deal with. So when we used to be able to apply for students in August, after A-levels, that's not the thing anymore. So when is the best time to apply? And the answer is now. Now, some of you are still thinking, maybe I'll take a couple of weeks. Perhaps let's have a conversation. Then you can sit down and then discuss the options that would be suitable for you. But now is the best time to apply because applications can take up to 8 weeks. And you don't want to end up, scrambling around for the last minute application and overwhelming yourself with documents and entrance exams and all of these things. So over to you, Dana, and thank you everyone for joining us as well. Had a great evening.
Thank you, Edmund. Before we move, I don't want to, I know you guys have things to do and you want to go, but you're all waiting to hear about our exclusive offer that we have for you. So I'll take the last question and then we'll go over the offer, I promise. So one student is asking, what happens in clinical years because of the language? Because the course is in English, but the patients speak a local language usually. So it's a very interesting question that I didn't want to close the Q&A without going over. When you're doing your medicine course and you join the university will give you basic courses for the language to teach you the beginning levels of the language to help you to settle into the new country. And during the first 3 years, you will learn part of the language. You're not required to have a specific level of proficiency in the language to continue into the practical years. It's still in English. And if you are struggling or facing any challenges with language with a patient, you will always have someone with you who will be translating and explaining everything for you. So don't worry about that. You're not required to do language proficiency tests to move from the theory years to the practical years. You will have someone supporting you with that. Now, moving on, I know that we have a lot of questions we didn't go over. Before we move on to the next slide, if we didn't go over your question or you feel you still have any questions you want us to go over, please scan this QR code in front of you, and this is to help you book a free one-to-one consultation with us where we can go over all your qualifications, all your options, and all your questions. Now, speaking about our exclusive offer, the 2-for-1. This is a special offer we've designed for you to help you have more options when you're accepted. So if you apply to one university, we are going to add another application with some of the universities that we are partners with, have partnered with us and organized with us this offer where we are able to add another university for free. So you apply to 2 universities for the price of 1 university. And this offer is until Thursday, next Thursday. However, we do have limited seats for that, which is 50 spots, and it goes based on first come, first serve. So we've set the deadline for Thursday. However, if the seats fill up earlier, it might close earlier. And this is something we've done especially for you because we want you to have more options when you're accepted. So don't miss out. Also, you can scan this QR code to know more about it and to be able to have a call so we can go over your options, choose which universities you want to apply to, and see what's the best way forward before the 50 seats for this 2-for-1 offer ends. So don't forget, this is an opportunity for you to have more than one option, more than one acceptance. Don't miss out. Now, I'm afraid that we are running out of time and we will have to close here. It was so nice to have you all with us today. It was lovely hearing from our guests and most importantly, our students who came to share their experience with you. We know they're busy, they have exams, assignments, but they always take the time because they know how it feels as you, a person looking to study abroad, how many questions you might have, and they've been in your position before. So thanks for everyone, and big thank you for our future and passionate and dedicated doctors and dentists who spent the evening with us. We loved how interactive you were and how many questions you've been throwing here. We would love to get on a call with you and discuss further your questions. We couldn't go over them due to the limited time we have today, but we are willing to get on a free consultation, one-to-one, as many questions as you have. We will go over everything together. And we look forward to have you join our Medlinks family for the October 2025. We want you to be part of this community. Again, as we said before, we're not an agency here. We are a community because we want you to be among a family, among people who are just like you, to make to get to know people from doctors and dentists from different countries, making connections with doctors from different areas of the world. And we want to be with you every step of this journey because we know and we are confident that doctors and dentists are the best people to make sure that when you graduate, you are not just a doctor or a dentist, but you're a phenomenal one. You will graduate and successfully hit the ground running after graduation because your success is our success. So seats are filling up, deadlines are close by. Don't miss out. Let's get on a call, discuss your options, and make sure this 2025, you will be part of Medlink Students and part of this amazing community that you've been seeing throughout the webinar. Good evening, everyone, and have a lovely night.